Like their own one.
All right, start of day 2 of our adventure to Alaska. Today the plan is we're gonna push through the trench, and for anyone that's never done the Alaska trip or is unfamiliar with it, there's a few different routes, starting with the safest and easiest but longest would be the Alcan Highway, which is the highway to the east side of all the mountains. You're basically up the plains all the way around. It's a longer route. Then you got the trench, which we're going up the lowest point through the Rocky Mountains through Canada. There's one stretch that we're gonna go through today that's 400 miles really with 0 services, meaning no weather reporting sites, no fuel. A few of the guys don't have the fuel range to make that, so they're gonna put fuel bags in. Then we're gonna try to get up to Watson Lake. There is fuel there. And then hopefully push on all the way to Whitehorse, which would be our goal for today. Now, there is the other route that we did not take, which is the coast. It's supposed to be the most beautiful flight ever. Very hostile though, and the weather can change super quickly. And we just didn't like the idea of potentially getting caught in a marine layer. Again, with 0 services over, like, that is like if you go swimming and you wear a life jacket so they can kind of find your body. That's the best. Like you're probably not getting saved. It's that remote. So this one's less dangerous, still a bit dangerous, but anyway, should be a beautiful flight today. While on the topic of it being a beautiful flight, this is definitely one that I want to make sure I capture. I know some of you guys are interested in how I make these videos and the camera mounts I use. So I want to take a second to show you guys my mounting apparatus for my cameras. Basically what I've got a camera on each wing. On my right wing, I have this boom pole that's mounted to these mounts that the guys at 67 Designs custom engineered and built for me that are attached to the ribs of the wing internally in the airplane. And they have these little nubs sticking out. That allows me to run this boom pole that they also designed to be able to hold a 360 camera. And that's that angle that you're seeing from the back. That's that like kind of invisible, like it gets rid of the pole, but it's this cool angle that shows the whole plane as well as where I'm going. On the inside of the cockpit, I'm running a few other things. One, I've got a camera that's my over the shoulder that kind of shows my field of view. I've got my cockpit camera up here that gets my cockpit audio so you can hear that. And then out on the other wing, I've got another standard action camera. I don't know if you can see it out there. I've also got a mount right here for when I have a passenger in here. Right now I'm not running that. And I do want to just shamelessly say that I am very proud to say that the guys at 67 Designs sponsored this video, so thank you. They did not need to do that. But for anyone that doesn't know, 67 Designs, US designed and manufactured, which you don't see that these days. The guys over there care a lot about keeping, you know, our manufacturing local, and they do it all outside or inside Dallas, Texas, and they just make a solid product. It's one of the things I used to use these really cheap clamps off Amazon. I've graduated since then to these much more robust clamps, which are one, safer, but just much more well built and much easier for me to just clip my cameras on and go. You know, with a product like this, it's something that you don't want to have to think about. You want it to just work. Anyone that is interested in these kind of amounts, so whether you're doing it for an aircraft or your off-road vehicle or overlanding, even car mounts. Let me talk about this phone mount. Oh, like that's probably something that you guys have seen, but were wondering about. Let me show you how this thing works. So this mount right here, they're calling the ledge. And what it is, it's got a built-in MagSafe charger. That's the actual Apple one. So it's, you know, all certified, the best. You know, it's not gonna like light your plane on fire because it's some janky, you know, knockoff one. It's the real deal. And they have this little ledge that your phone sits on, and then you just set it up there. And the beauty is that when you're in rough air or even a rough landing, it's not gonna just like slide off the MagSafe because that ledge is there. But it's that easy to take on and off. Phone's always charging, perfectly facing me. It's just an awesome mount. Anyway, thank you again to the guys at 67 Designs for making such awesome hardware and helping me do what I do in a much safer, better way, and in making it brainless so that I don't have to be fiddling and thinking about my camera mounts all the time. They just work perfectly. So if you're in the market, head over to 67d.com. I've got a special link in the description if you use that. Helps me out a little bit. But anyway, thanks again to 67 Designs. Let's get loaded up and get out of here. My airspeed indicator, I think, has water in it. It'll blow out quick.
we're dodging here. And then we look like we're in a little bit better shape. I just got Sirius XM hooked up, which is awesome. So I get radar services even out here where ADS-B doesn't work. And I've obviously got Starlink too, so using that to check, you know, both my aviation apps as well as like Windy, which Windy is awesome because it's probably the best kind of assemblages of forecasts that give you a good graphic representation of like, obviously wind, but then you got rain and thunder and visibility. We're using all those and the smoke map because we will get into some wildfire smoke likely later today. Well, we decided the cloud layer was starting to get a little too high. We didn't want to keep climbing. We're 14 minutes out of Mackenzie. We're going to grab or bag some fuel since they're closed for Brett. But got underneath the layer, and it's a beautiful little lake. Beautiful highway. Everything is great right now.
Oh my gosh, how nice is this?
Is there an other than pavement landing option here?
You can land short.
Oh yeah, that's what I saw Ron Kazina do here.
Usually, I mean, it depends on the day. I'll usually just land downfield, land on it.
On the runway?
Yeah, it's just, I mean, you can go land super long.
Yeah, I'd rather do that than taxi for the entire runway clogging it.
Mackenzie traffic, November 223 Charlie Delta, first in a flight of 6, right base runway 35, Mackenzie.
Turns out Mackenzie does have fuel, so we're gonna splash some in just because we got a long leg. I'll have plenty of fuel. How funny is this? This Piper Navajo, I think that's what it is, fired up in front of us and blew all its exhaust fumes, and listen to this. My carbon monoxide sensor's been going off from that guy. That's pretty funny. Now we're gonna get going. We're gonna be dealing with some weather, it looks like, but we'll deal with it. That's what we do.
Could be worse.
Yeah. Sweet.
We're still having fun.
Yeah.
The good news is the lake is a little low.
Good news, because we got more outs a little bit.
Exactly.
Nice. Oh yeah, look at that big old like landing bar over there.
Aaron, the Canadian, called ahead and made some phone calls, and they lowered it down just for us.
Yeah, I told them to open the dam. They've got the beavers to move some of the logs.
Talk to radio, which is way different than the States. They just basically want you to tell them when you're on final, I guess. Watson Lake, Cub 669er, Tango Papa, final 09er.
Roger, wind is 110 at 5.
Roger, for 69er, Tango Papa.
Welcome to Watson Lake. We made it. That was the trench. We did it. That was actually a phenomenal flight. Like, beautiful. Yeah, none of my video is gonna do it justice, but glad I had all the cameras. Although I'm having some intermittent issues. I think the rain got in some of my USB connectors and are making things a little janky. But grab some fuel here and then push on. We're trying to make Whitehorse, although there is supposedly some thunderclouds building back there. It's kind of hard with this overcast layer to tell. So we'll just have to see. We're well outside of radar range. So pretty hard to judge what the weather's gonna do, but just kind of push until we don't like what we see and, you know, go from there. So apparently this is a photo that everyone gets while they're here. So I taxied over. I will say, she looks pretty good in front of that old building. Anyway, we are fueled up now. Next stop, final one for the day. Got some weather to pick through, but we're going for Whitehorse.
Into the wildfire smoke. We knew it was coming. My first time getting to use this infrared camera in the smoke. It's crazy right now. Like, I can see some of the highway in front of me. I can't see all that far, and I definitely can't see the end of the lake. The infrared has it all crystal clear. Like, that is so nice to just kind of validate the synthetic vision. Super cool. They're saying this is going to be a rough pass. Might as well film it if I end up squealing. It's so funny. How long have I been flying and I still just white knuckle through rough air?
The wind is shifting to follow this valley, but at least it's dying a little bit.
Dying off quite a bit.
94 Alpha Flight, sorry, exit runway 20 and cross runway 14 Beepers at your discretion, and just monitor about 1219 on the taxi and off, point off for you for parking and fueling there.
And we made it. Whitehorse, end of day 2. And Kyle and his guys over here at Camaro are awesome. They're kind of rolling out the red carpet for us, getting us all set up for parking spots. He's like literally grabbed the tractor, pulling out tie downs for us. They got Steve going into one of their tent hangars back there. So awesome. If you're ever in Whitehorse, give these guys a call, come hit them up. But yeah, solid day. We had a little bit of weather, nothing too bad. And overall, day 2, we freaking killed it because we made it really far. And if weather plays nice, which it's kind of 50-50 right now, we should make the rest of the way up to Anchorage or Wasilla, which is where we're going tomorrow. With all that, I think we're gonna go day by day on this trip up here. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up here. You guys know the drill. Like this video if you do, subscribe if you haven't. Come be my wingman. See you in the next one. Peace.